Hi, everyone. Sarah Ross here, Director at Huron County Growth Partnership. Happy 2026, and thank you for being members with our organization. We're so excited for a fourth year in a row to bring a really valuable professional development opportunity to our membership and our business base here in the community. So remember, you have lots of benefits by being a part of our organization. At the end of the month, end of January and all of February, we are going to be hosting a 4-part course. And so we would like to give you a little preview of that course today. We're here with the founder and owner of Agon Leadership, who will describe this learning opportunity. And before we introduce her, I just want to say if you are interested in reading more about this or signing your team up, just go to our website, huroncountyohio.com, click member login at the top, or we will post the direct registration link in the comments or email and information below. So now I'm going to turn it over to one of our newer team members at HCGP, Samantha, our Marketing and Community Outreach Coordinator, to introduce our leadership coach.
All right, we are pleased to welcome Cathie Leimbach, who specializes in inspiring leadership breakthroughs to develop engaged, result-oriented cultures. Thank you for being here, Cathie. HCGP is excited to offer your program Conversational Management. So we do have a couple questions for you. The first one is, what makes conversational management different?
Most managers around the world and in the United States tend to be command control managers. They tell people what to do and let them know when they're unhappy with what they're doing. Not only do they tell them what to accomplish, they tell them how to do it, often step by step. About 90% of managers are that way, but it does not inspire trust or engagement with employees. A much more appropriate approach is a consultative, collaborative management style where there's two-way conversation between the leaders and their people. And that builds trust and inspires people to do their best at work. Also, most leadership development programming hasn't been about the skills of leading people. It's been about managing the processes. And the people, though, have to run the equipment. The people carry out the processes. So leadership skill, people leadership skill development, not project planning, is the focus of conversational management.
Thank you. I think that was a great answer. Our second question is, how does conversational management help people become better leaders?
The conversational management program starts with, how do we communicate with other people in live conversations? Most people aren't used to asking open-ended questions that are truly open, and then they close their mouth, open their ears, and really listen to the other person's answers. The second step is letting the other person know you've heard what they said by reflecting back a summary of what they've said. And what may not be surprising to people is that only 50% of the time am I accurately hearing what someone's told me. That also means that only 50% of the time do employees accurately hear what their leader is telling them. But when the employee reflects back what they heard, then the leader can add additional information as necessary so that when someone goes to do their job, they're going to be on the right track. And the third part of communication that is emphasized in conversational management is clarifying at the end of the conversation that everyone has on their mind what they said they were going to do or what they were asked to do. So that is where you end a conversation by everyone that has an action to do as a result of that conversation states it. The conversation leader, the meeting leader, doesn't say, so Samantha, you're going to do A and B. Sarah, you're going to do C and D. Instead, I would say, Samantha, what are the things you're doing as a result of this meeting? Sarah, what are the things you're doing? And I've promised to do da-da. Because that closure makes sure that everyone that was assigned a task or said in the middle of the conversation, the middle of the 2-hour meeting, that they would do a task is actually leaving the meeting remembering that they're to do that task. So we're developing, and conversational management is, the course is taught in an engaging skill development way. It's not just an information drop. It's engaging conversation throughout the whole course, and it includes role-playing of the communication strategies that are taught. So people walk out having practiced something new.
I think that's great. Our third question is, each class will cover a different part of the training. Can you give us a short overview of each part?
Yes, and the detail that I gave about asking open-ended questions, using reflective listening and closure, those are the 3 core parts of the course. And the first session, the reason that session is longer than the others, the first session focuses on understanding the importance of conversational, strong communication leadership, and learning those 3 core tools and practicing them with each other. So that's session 1, is developing those fundamentals of conversations. Session 2 covers things that most leaders aren't very comfortable with. And that is giving feedback to employees about how they're doing. That includes, how do you tell people, how do you let people know when they're doing a good job? So strategies for praising other people. And then it also includes pointing out when someone is underperforming and developing steps to close the gap between expectations and actual performance, and how to do that in a way that helps the employee get better and the employee feels supported for improvement, not blasted. Most supervisors say they don't hold others accountable because they feel so bad being nasty to their employee. And so the program teaches a very friendly, collaborative way where employees are actually happy to have had the conversation and they help solve the problem. The employer doesn't, or the leader doesn't just say, you have to do these 3 steps that may not suit that employee. So it acknowledges that all of us are different and we go about things, we naturally go about things in a different way. And sometimes the processes can be tweaked to suit the individual. So the constructive feedback process helps people feel that they are being supported for success. The third is about involving employees in setting their goals and in making decisions in the workplace. Now, it is about starting with, what are the expectations that that individual needs to fulfill in their role at the company? But then within those expectations, setting goals and thinking about the suitability of those goals. Are they realistic or not? Do they really work towards serving the company's needs or not? So that people walk out of a goal-setting conversation with realistic goals that they can actually work towards. And the other part of that session is leaders being able to walk employees through decision-making so that employees get to make the decision what they'll feel committed to, they'll be bought into, while the leader is making sure that the decision, again, is within the parameters of the workplace requirements. So both of those, helping them set goals and helping them make decisions, end up with realistic expectations of the employee. So the employee is going to put more energy into fulfilling their job. And because the employee has been part of the process, the employer doesn't need to check in with them as often. And when they do check in to monitor their progress, they're going to be happier with what the employee's doing. So there are fewer difficult accountability problem, or there's less need for difficult conversations. And the employee doesn't have to go and check in with the supervisor as often. So the supervisor can be doing other things rather than being interrupted. So it's a win-win for leaders and for their direct reports. The fourth one is about understanding human diversity more. Part of it is understanding personality differences, just the basics. We're not all wired the same. And so my preference won't be Samantha's preference, and Sarah's could be even a different preference. So understanding how we can adjust to other people's natural wiring in a way that still serves the company's priorities. And the second part of that fourth one will be situational leadership, which is a model that helps leaders understand if someone is underperforming or if they're on top of their game by considering two factors. Is their attitude and their emotional commitment weak or strong around the task? Do they want to do the task? Second is their skill level. Do they really know how to do the task or don't they? And it depends whether their skill level is low or high, and their willingness to work on this task is low or high, how they should be supported by a leader. So that fourth one is about paying attention to the individuals, their level of training or capacity in the task area, and their natural wiring, and for leaders to interact with them in the way that's going to support them most. So the whole course really is equipping a leader to meet their employees where the employees are at, instead of the leader giving direction in the way they best perform and expecting all of their employees to adjust to the leader's default or natural way of doing things. So rather than the leader dictating, the leader is adapting to support their employees and their employees' reality.
Thank you for that. Our fourth and final question is, who is this training made for?
The training is made for any person who is leading other people. It can be someone in the C-suite, a middle manager, a supervisor, a shift lead, and or just even a one-on-one mentor trainer, maybe on an assembly line, that it's a peer that is doing training of new hires. And lots of participants in this program end up saying, wow, I have learned so much about my spouse since I've asked different types of questions. And I've learned so much about my kids. My kids are actually cleaning up their room because instead of me just telling them to, we have talked about what that goal means and how it's going to be carried out. So it's for anyone that gives assignments to anyone else or has responsibility for guiding others in being effective in any task they might do at work or outside of work. But from this context, I would expect that everyone participating in the course in the next couple of months will have some type of people leadership role in their workplace.
Well, we are so, so excited. I personally have had the honor of having 2 little previews of the conversational management curriculum. And just like any conversation with Cathie, like even today's, I leave feeling like there's no limit to how much I can improve my communication and my leadership. So I'm very excited that we're bringing you back, Cathie. I know we did a preview last year with a few of our local manufacturing leaders. And as you said, it's incredibly interactive. Lots of role playing. Participants will leave with exact scenarios in mind that they want to improve at work. So we're very excited. I'm just going to go over the logistics one more time. Again, to register, use the link below or head to our website, huroncountyohio.com. But here is the registration page. It is taking place on 4 Fridays starting January 30th. As Cathie mentioned, the first one is a bit longer, 9 a.m. to 3 on January 30th. And then the following 3 Fridays are 9 to 12:30. And you can find more information about Cathie and her company down here. And then you can register right up here. Any questions or any issues logging into our system, do not hesitate to call us, 419-668-4155. Email us. That's why Samantha and I are here. And we hope to meet you and all your people leaders and introduce them to Cathie. So thank you so much, and we'll see you at the end of the month.